सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः. So we'll proceed today to review the verses 81 to 90. And so let us begin with our prayers. Arunachal Shiv, Arunachal Shiv, Arunachal Shiv, Arunachala, Arunachal Shiv, Arunachal Shiv, Arunachal Shiv, Arunachala. And so let us begin reviewing these verses first. We'll chant the verses. Be not like a mirror held up to a noseless man, but raise me from my lowliness and embrace me, O Arunachala. Let us embrace upon the bed of tender flowers, which is the mind within the room of the body, O Arunachala. How is it that thou hast become famous from thy constant union with the poor and humble, O Arunachala? Thou hast removed the blindness of ignorance with the unguent of thy grace, and made me truly thine, O Arunachala. Thou didst shave clean my head, and I was lost to the world. Then thou didst show thyself dancing in transcendent space, O Arunachala. Though thou hast loosed me from the mists of error and made me mad for thee, why hast thou not yet freed me from illusion, O Arunachala? Is it true silence to rest like a stone, inert and unexpansive, O Arunachala? Who was it that threw mud to me for food and robbed me of my livelihood, O Arunachala? Unknown to all, stupefying me, who was it that ravished my soul, O Arunachala? I spoke thus to thee because thou art my Lord. Be not offended, but come and give me happiness, O Arunachala. So we start with verse 81. It says, Be not like a mirror held up to a noseless man, but raise me from my lowliness and embrace me, O Arunachala. So here our Bhakta Ramana Maharshi, the devotee, is telling the bridegroom, Arunachala, the Lord, that look, Lord, Bhagavan, I know of all my flaws. I know I'm not perfect and I know of my flaws. So what is the use of you as a Bhagavan pointing me of those flaws? What is the use of shaming me like that? Uh, See, if I'm a noseless man and if somebody holds a mirror in front of me to show how I am without a nose, it's not appropriate. I would feel very low about myself. But Bhagavan, the worldly people would do that, would do something of this sort. They would point out the other person's flaws. Um, that is understandable for the people in this world. But you are not a finite being. You are the limitless Bhagavan. You are the limitlessness itself. Um, so it is not proper that you uh, show me my flaws. In fact, what is your job, Bhagavan? It is your job to uh, get me um, um, to remove my flaws. So that is your job. So not pointing the flaws, but do the remedy so that all my flaws are gone. So embrace me in this form. Help me get rid of the flaws and embrace me, O Lord, O Arunachala. So do not humiliate me by showing my flaws. Instead, you please remove the defects of this bhakta, of this jiva. How? By your grace. Your grace, Bhagavan, is very much the source of removal of the flaws. Your grace is capable of removing these flaws. So please, Bhagavan, do the effective, do the appropriate. Bless me with your grace, and so that I become devoid of these defects, these flaws, and I become capable of your embrace with union with yourself, so that I become one with Bhagavan, with Arunachala. So please, Bhagavan, save me in this way by your grace. Remove all my flaws. Do not show me my flaws. Remove my flaws. Verse 82, let us embrace upon the bed of tender flowers, which is the mind within the room of the body, O Arunachala. So in this analogy of, bride and bridegroom, this analogy is given that I want a union with you, Bhagavan, but for that union, you need a preparation, right? So here the preparation is bed of tender flowers. Now, what is the location of this union that the bhakta knows where this union has to happen? It has to happen in the heart. Bhagavan has to be united in the heart. This is where God has to be realized. But can God be realized in any heart? No. So the bhakta is aware that it needs preparation, that the heart needs to be prepared. It needs to be covered with tender flowers. And what are these tender flowers we are talking about? The values, the Satya, Ahimsa, etc. All the 20 values we can accommodate here. But in short, a sattvic mind, in short, a heart which is full of divine qualities, the Daivi Prakriti, the Daivi Gunas, as the Bhagavan mentions in Bhagavad Gita. So this is the kind of heart that is required. This is the kind of preparation that is required for the union of Bhagavan. And when the heart is prepared, so then one can invite, yes, Bhagavan, now I'm prepared. Please come, and the bhakta can request for that union with God. Like whenever the guests are arriving, how you arrange the house. Similarly, for this union with Bhagavan, you would also prepare your heart with this divine qualities, so that the realization of Bhagavan, the oneness with Bhagavan, is possible in only such a prepared heart. So then, verse 83, how is it that thou hast become famous from thy constant union with the poor and humble, O Arunachala? So uh, here the commentator says that how are the true devotees? They're very humble. More the devotion you have towards Bhagavan, more humble you have, more humility you will exhibit, and the devotee would not show even a trace of pride. So such are these humble and sincere devotees. Um, what does Bhagavan do towards such devotees? So Bhagavan goes to any length for sustaining and protecting these devotees. Um, and we know of many stories of like Prahlad, when Bhakta Prahlad was in difficulties, how Bhagavan took the Narsimha avatar and appeared from the pillar to save this Bhakta Prahlad. We know of this Gajendra Moksha, how Lord, when the Gajendra, when this elephant was, he was, the crocodile attacked this elephant, and he was almost about to die. He was certain he was about to die, and he remembers Bhagavan, and in no time, Bhagavan with his Garuda, he comes and rescues this Gajendra. So for bhaktas, Bhagavan goes to any length for sustaining and protecting. So what is Bhagavan and where is he? He is in the most exalted place, and he would come down to the human platform or whatever platform the bhakta is, and he would not even think twice that why do I have to stoop low? No, for the devotee, Bhagavan goes to the nth length. He gives up his whole being to protect this devotee. So here it says, from the most exalted place he descends, the Bhagavan descends and lifts the devotee from sorrow. And deeper he descends, deeper the Bhagavan descends, greater the devotee feels the manifestation of his splendor. Obviously he can feel that grace, he can feel that the devotion as well. It kind of matures even more and more as you find those grace in our life, in our experiences. So such is the beautiful relationship between the devotee and a true devotee who is humble, and Bhagavan, who goes to nth level to save this devotee, to protect this devotee in his difficult times. Then 84. Thou hast removed the blindness of ignorance with the unguent of thy grace, and made me truly thine, O Arunachala. So, on account of delusion born of avidya, the jiva is as though blind to the truth. And how is this truth revealed then? By removing the darkness. How is the darkness removed? By the grace of Lord. By the grace of Lord, by the wisdom, this darkness is removed. So, Lord's grace alone is the remedy for the removal of this darkness. So, under the spell of this avidya, the darkness, the jiva imagined that she belongs to the non-self, to this body-mind sense complex. But when that darkness is removed, then her true nature is revealed. The true nature of the bhakta is revealed. And now that this delusion is destroyed, the bhakta comes to know of the realization of the oneness with the God, comes to know of of her true nature. I have to remember here, it's the bhakta Ramana Maharshi is a bride. So when this delusion is destroyed, how? Through Bhagavan's grace, then she comes to know, the devotee comes to know of her true nature, of the oneness with the Bhagavan, and that she belongs to Bhagavan, meaning she is one with Bhagavan, belonging not in the sense of duality, but that oneness with Bhagavan. So this is all done, that blindness of ignorance is removed by Bhagavan's grace, on account of which the devotee comes to know the oneness with Arunachala, oneness with Bhagavan. So now verse 85, thou didst shave clean my head, and I was lost to the world. Then thou show thyself dancing in transcendent space, O Arunachala. So what did you do? Thou didst shave clean my head. So thou did remove my ego, my ahankara. And what happens when this ahankara happens? Then I realized you dancing in my heart. Meaning that happiness, the true happiness is realized in the heart. But that happens only when one gets rid of this ahankara, when this notion of taking all this body, mind, sense complex and all the other notions that we entertain, all those are given up, then one experiences this dancing of Lord Shiva, meaning one feels that Ananda, the Ananta Ananda, is felt within this heart. So here the commentator says that shaving the head, it signifies what? Renunciation of the ego. And when ego is renounced, the heart becomes a fit place. Only when ego is renounced, it's like the preparation of the bed we were talking about. Only when this ahankara is removed, then the heart becomes fit for the Lord to come and do his dance. And in such a heart, the Lord dances, meaning we feel that bliss, we feel the Ananta Ananda, limitless Ananda. Because so long as the ego lasts, there cannot be real happiness, because one would feel that sense of limitation. It's only when this ego is removed, or meaning one becomes free from the notion of ahankara, I am, then that non-duality, then that anantata, that ananda is realized, and one is blessed with that ananda within the heart. Uh, then the verse 86, though thou hast loosed me from the mists of error and made me mad for thee, why hast thou not yet freed me from illusion, O Arunachala? So, so here the Bhakta says that, okay, Lord, you have so far made me free from this attachment to sense organs, sense objects, the Vishaya Vasana that you have removed. How? By making me attached to you. And now I'm attached to you, Bhagavan. So that's a great job you have done. But there is still this duality between us. This Bhakta Bhagavan duality is between us. So why don't you remove that? Bhagavan, I want that non-duality. I want that happiness, that oneness of non-duality between yourself and me. So the Bhakta pines for this ultimate happiness, the ultimate happiness of non-duality, and this is what he is requesting Bhagavan in this verse. So this ultimate duality of Bhakta and Bhagwan should also ultimately resolve in non-duality, and that is what the Bhakta is asking here for. Then in 87, is it true silence to rest like a stone, inert and unexpansive, O Arunachala? So what is true Maun? Is it just not keeping quiet, not speaking a word, not uttering a word? Is that true silence? Is that true Maun? No, it is the silence of the mind, that poise of the mind. That is what is meant by true Maunam. So here the mental stillness means rendering the mind calm and unperturbed. So that actually is the true silence, and not just the quietude of uh, the control of speech. So, so why is this verse, why is this suddenly Maunam coming? Because the Bhakta is standing right in front of Arunachala, right? Arunachala is not speaking. Yeah, Arunachala is in Maun. So, so is taunting in a different ways that why are you keeping quiet? Like, true Maunam is not just not speaking. You can speak and still maintain that true silence, because true silence is that state of mind, the poise of mind, the quietude of mind, where it has no conflicts, no struggle. So basically, the bhakta is taunting Bhagavan. Please don't, stand in this mount pose, in this, I'm not going to speak pose. Do come and bless me. Do come and shower your grace upon me. And in verse 88, who was it that threw mud to me for food and robbed me of my livelihood, O Arunachala? So, what is the situation of the jiva? The jiva keeps on circling in the samsara. Why? Because he's feasting. Feasting on what? On the vishaya, the sense objects. And where does the jiva derive its sustenance from? The ignorance, because he doesn't know his true nature. And so long that he doesn't know his true nature, he keeps on circling in this samsara, meaning the life of rebirth, the birth and death. So this is the situation of the jiva. He takes poison to be the food. What is the poison? He takes the vishaya, which are technically as equivalent to a poison. He takes them to be the food and he consumes, and he gets deeper and deeper and deeper entangled in the samsara. But what does God do? God saves the jiva. How? By turning him away from the sense objects and by destroying the avidya. Through the grace, through the wisdom, Bhagavan does all this. Through by attracting the devotee towards him, he diverts the devotee from the Vishaya Vasana towards himself. So that's first step. And by removing his ignorance by wisdom, he uplifts him, and he saves this jiva. So here the devotee is praising the Lord, is praising the grace of Lord, that throwing mud into mouth. That is what is stated here, right? So what does throwing mud into my mouth mean? Here the commentator says it means that denying me of my food. Which food? Bhagavan, you denied me of the food that I was eating so far, the Vishaya, which were technically like poison to me. Bhagavan, you did that. You denied me of this poison like food. And what happened? You attracted me towards you. So this is what you did. And then the other thing is robbing one of one's living. So far, the jiva, was living sustained by this ignorance. You robbed me of my living, meaning by wisdom, you actually freed me from this avidya, from this sansar. So, this again is the greatness of Bhagavan. By denying me of my food, by taking the livelihood out of me, of this jiva, you actually gave me my true swarupa. You made me one with, you made me recognize my true swarupa, my true nature. So then 89, unknown to all stupefying me, who was it that ravished my soul, O Arunachala? So Lord is compared here like a thief that nobody knows, and Bhagavan, you come quietly, silently, and come in my heart. Because God is said to have stolen my heart, the devotee's heart. So here he is compared with a thief. Uh, he comes without being uh, So he is as though a invisible indweller of all beings. He knows all, but no one knows him. It's talking about Bhagavan. He is the knower of all knowing, seer of all seeing. Shrotrasya Shrotram. That is what it's being talked about. Knower of all knowing, because he is the content of all knowing, he is the content of all seeing. He is the very reason why knowing takes place. He is the very reason why seeing takes place. So, such as the Bhagavan, such Bhagavan is a thief. He has stolen the devotee's heart. Uh, then what happens in the state of bondage? The jiva is as though in under the spell of this plurality, this duality, but that is the false charm. But this false charm of Maya is overpowered by the superior charm of Bhagavan, which is Lord's grace. And so Lord silently comes, saves the soul, and grants him the joy of the divine union with Bhagavan. Then the last one, I spoke thus to thee because thou art my Lord. Be not offended, but come and give me happiness, O Arunachala. So devotee has taken so far many liberty. He has spoken, scolded, not insulted, but made jokes, mocked at Bhagavan, scolded him. But now he is again requesting Bhagavan. All this was out of love. All this was so that you would come fast and rescue me. So please do not get offended by any of my uh, uh, sayings. By my words, all my actions were only prompted by love. So, Bhagavan, please come and bless me. Do not take my words as harsh words. They were actually meant to invite you, come rescue me sooner. In fact, how can you be driven away? Because you are the indwelling self of everyone. So, but do Bhagavan come and rescue me, come and bless me with the vision of oneness with yourself, O Arunachala. Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala, Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala. ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्तिः 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 हरिः ॐ श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ॐ